Good news, everybody. This is Prophet Mavi Israel. I want to talk to a few individuals. You might be in a position whereby you are trying to run away from the presence of God. You are trying to run away from the calling of God. You might be resisting the call of God over your life. Sometimes you look at the situations that you're going through right now. You look at yourself. You have tried everything. Nothing is working in your favor. You tried to do a lot of things. Nothing is materializing in your life. I want you to know and to understand something. We can never run away from the presence of God. We can never run away from the will and the assignment of God. The Bible tells us that there was a man by the name Jonah. That's Jonah chapter number 1 from verse number 4. The Bible tells us that there was a man by the name Jonah. He received a word from God to go and preach against Nineveh, a great city. And the Bible tells us that when Jonah received the prophetic word, instead of going to Nineveh, he diverted and he began to go to Tarshish. This man, he was running away from the will and the assignment of God. He was running away from the presence of God. David said, where can we go from the presence of God? That means we can never run away from the presence of God. We can never run away from the will and the assignment of God. Now the Bible tells us that when Jonah went to Tarshish, the Lord sent a great wind that threatened the life of the boat. Why? Because Jonah was running away from the will and the assignment of God. You might be wondering, why is your boat being fought? Why is there a lot of storms in your life? Why is there so much resistance in everything that you are doing right now? I want you to begin to check your life right now. Begin to investigate your life right now. Some of you, it's not because the devil is just interested in fighting whatever that you are doing. Some of you, it's because you are running away from the will and the assignment of God. But today I want to speak to few people right now that are saying, man of God, I feel like I have a calling of God over my life. I feel like I'm not ready to do the work of the Lord. I want you to know and to understand that God does not call the perfect, but he perfects the called. So your duty is to accept the call and begin to follow. Jesus saw Peter. Knowing that Peter is a fisher of men, he said to Peter, follow me and I'll make you. Follow me and I'll make you. That means the word make, it's a process. So your duty as a child of God is to follow Christ. You will do the rest. Your responsibility as a child of God is to say yes to God, and things will begin to work in your favor. Jonah chose to run away from the will and the assignment of God, and the Bible tells us that God sent a storm, not the devil. And the Bible tells us that that storm was threatening the boat to an extent whereby all the people that were on the ship, on the boat, they began to lose their luggage. They began to lose their cargo. Why? Because they were trying to save the boat. If you are running away from the will and the assignment of God, you begin to cost even the company that you are working for right now. You begin to cost the people that are around you. They will begin to lose their luggage. They will begin to lose everything that they have because they are moving with a Jonah in their boat. So, child of God, I want you to begin to revisit your life. You might be resisting the call of God. You might be running away from the call of God. I want you to submit to the call of God. Submit to the will of God. You need to yield to the Spirit of God. Yield to the Spirit. Allow the Spirit to use you. Allow the Spirit to do what he pleases with you in this season. Your responsibility as a child of God is to surrender all and say, God, here I am. Use me. There is no excuse that is valid before God. God called Moses into the prophetic, and Moses said, I am nothing but a stammerer. And God said, that is not an enough reason for me not to allow you to go and deliver my people. I shall raise Aaron. You shall be a God in the life of Aaron. You shall speak into the life of Aaron. He shall become your voice. So before God, we do not have a valid excuse. We do not have a valid reason not to pursue the purposes of God. Even Jeremiah, God is calling him into the prophetic, and he said, I am nothing but a youth. Then God had to remind him from the book of Jeremiah chapter number 1 verse 5. He said, I knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. I ordained you a prophet